Hi, I'm Malaysia, and I'm from the team of 9 Monash University students doing the Task Force unit. And our brief was to design a project to change the perceptions of Malaysians towards refugees and asylum seekers currently living in Malaysia, with a specific focus on legal work rights. How we intend on doing this is to launch a social media campaign in 2 parts. The first to issue a challenge to participants, and the second a follow-up video. Tentatively, we would like to launch after general elections, and the suggested dates are the 12th and 13th of May, which is a Saturday and a Sunday, or the 14th of May, which is a Monday.
Hello, my name is Bruno Joseph, and for this part of the presentation, I will be discussing about the focus group that we had conducted. The focus group was meant to be able to find the current perceptions on refugees within the global context, and also the ability of statistical data in changing perceptions of citizens within Malaysia upon refugees. The methodology that we conducted was we asked our participants 2 questions within the global context on whether or not refugees could have a positive or negative impact upon the economy of a nation and the crime rate of a nation. We then would give information to the participants about the statistical data within other nations on how refugees could have a positive impact upon a nation's economy and actually decrease the crime rate within a nation and its communities. After we've given the information, we see about the perception change by asking the same 2 questions but within the context of Malaysia. For the results of our focus group, we had found that for economic benefits, the majority had shown a positive attitude towards refugees, both in the global context and within Malaysia. For crime rate though, we did see a decrease in the numbers of positive beliefs of refugees both in the global and in the Malaysian context, and we did not see as much of a change in perceptions. But overall, we did see a positive attitudes towards economic and crime rates of refugees within a nation, both globally and in Malaysia.
Hello, my name is Sandra, and I'll be talking about the survey and its findings. The survey was created and distributed using Google Forms. We managed to gather data from 291 respondents who are aged between 18 to 65 years old. While most of them are aged between 18 to 25, so majority are students, followed by freelancers, employers, employees, and also retirees. The survey's objective is to gauge Malaysians' general perception of the refugee issue in the country. So we measured their general understanding of refugee demographics, the impacts on our country, and the government's current stance on this issue. What we found is that most of our respondents are willing to work and employ refugees across all age groups and occupations. When asked of their top priority as a refugee, they answered that the ability to work and provide for their families as the most important. However, we also found that most respondents have mixed feelings, followed by negative opinions about the refugees' impacts on the country in terms of wages, work opportunities, national security, national culture and identity. And majority of respondents chose to remain neutral towards the Malaysian government's stance towards the refugee issue. Our findings have allowed us to better understand how to approach refugee work rights in the country, but any future research concerning the Malaysian perception towards refugees should investigate as to why the majority are willing to work or employ refugees but are not willing to accept them as equal standing when it comes to wages and work opportunities. Finding out the reason for these Malaysian attitudes will definitely help improve the current refugee landscape in Malaysia.
Hi, my name is Shayna, and I'll be talking about our policy recommendation. A challenge called EVAC Pack is proposed. EVAC Pack, short for Evacuation Pack, invites participants to video themselves packing a bag of essential items in under 30 seconds, with the context being that a refugee has a very short span of time to pack up his or her entire life and escape his or her home and country. This hopefully causes participants not only to think about the things in life that matter to them, but also to put themselves in the shoes of a refugee who has to flee under dire conditions. In terms of the objective to humanize refugees, the challenge will first evoke empathy in participants for the plight of refugees. Subsequently, the video will then attempt to further increase the complexity of emotions felt by the audience by giving insight into the lives of refugees and how the legal inability to earn a living leaves them in exceedingly vulnerable situations, fighting for survival. Paired together, This will serve to underscore the contrast between what the participants of the challenge packed and what the refugees actually packed when fleeing for their lives. Audiences who do not take part in the challenge but view the content on social media will hopefully also be affected. Therefore, this campaign will hopefully change Malaysians' attitudes toward refugees and asylum seekers currently living here, and make the notion of refugees legally working in Malaysia more acceptable, thus improving their situations and lived realities whilst here. 3 social media sites were identified as platforms for the challenge: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and detailed methods on how the challenge should be framed and formatted for each platform are considered. As part of the challenge, each participant will have to post their 30-second video on social media, nominate 3 other people to complete the challenge, and tag Asylum Access Malaysia's social media page in their post. On top of the function of social media, the nature of nomination will naturally facilitate the spreading of the campaign.
Hi, my name is Arif, and I'll be speaking about the follow-up videos that we intend to shoot with refugees. So, the creation of a follow-up video will include 3 refugees talking about their daily lives and what they would pack in their own evac packs. We hope to engage with refugees via AAM or other established NGOs. The type of refugees that we would like to interview would be number 1, a well-educated refugee, number 2, a teenage refugee if it's possible, and number 3, refugees with working difficulties because of a physical disability. And we intend to show the contrasting items that what refugees would pack versus other people. The items that these 2 groups pack will hopefully show the difference in living conditions and how these different groups would prioritize important documents while packing.